Rinse FM.
Right, Doug, you ready for this?
I've called in my
He's bowed
my
out.
partner in crime.
Bowed out.
Yeah, just sound better coming from
Jess, you're going to
from
read
Jess's
Doug's
voice.
book to us.
Okay,
sick of my
so Rave Diaries and Tower Blocks Tales. Looking back, it does seem a bit mad when I think of the risks we took and the disregard we had for anyone who tried to stop us. I think the scariest thing I ever witnessed was over at Free Flats in Bow when Rinse was broadcasting from a studio in one tower block with the area on the top of the block next door. We went up one afternoon having been cut off only to find a new hatch and lock been fitted, to which we didn't have the key. The only way up was to scale the outside of the block. There were over 20 floors, which meant the roof was well over 200 feet high. So what were we going to do? We assessed the situation, trying to suss out a way around this obstacle. Wait, this sounds so dangerous, for a start. Did you survive, clearly?
Oh, you're gonna have to read on.
Oh.
Carry on, Jess. I was getting right into that. I'm enjoying it.
She was there.
Can we read the whole thing?
On the top floor, there was a window just big enough for a body to fit through. Slimsy was on it straight away. "I'll just climb out the window and pull myself up onto the roof," he said, like it was the most normal, rational thing to do. I remember looking out of the window down to the concrete below. One slip and he was dead. There was no way on earth anyone would survive a fall like that. Both G and I were uncomfortable with this, but Slim was adamant. If we hadn't let him, he said he'd have gone back onto his own and done it anyway. So off he went. We stood and watched him climb out of the top floor window, arms out first, followed by his head and shoulders. Then his body squeezed through, with us holding onto his legs inside the landing. He then reached up to the roof and grabbed the top of the ledge. Once he had a grip, we let his legs go and he pulled himself fully through the window, so his entire body was now hanging from the roof. Had he lost his grip, then that was it. No second chance. From the inside, we watched him wriggle his shins and feet through. Then he vanished out of sight. I won't lie, I felt physically sick.
Oh, there's a little cliffhanger there. Dum 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 dum.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is good book, Doug.
You like that feeling, innit?
I'm gripped. I feel a bit sick myself.
That was amazing.
I ain't gonna lie. There's a few things that we've done like that in our time, and I done that another time with just me and Slim there.
Yeah.
And I felt like he'd done it, and it was through a different part of the window that was even more difficult, and he'd done it, and I thought that it's definitely this time he's gonna not make it.
Yeah.
And I still think about it sometimes,
Whoa.
and it still makes me think how bad it could have been, because I was on my own with him, and it would have been like, what am I going to do?
Do you know what, Jay? I was talking to someone the other day, and things we used to see as normal, like
Yeah.
getting on top of the lift, riding it up to the top, climb up, D-lock the rig in the thing. Like, to me, that was a non-dangerous side of the job. Like, doing that sort of stuff, or getting up the rubbish chutes, like what you used to do. That's dangerous. But people have been saying to me, "Oh, like, weren't you scared when you rode the lift?" I was like, I didn't even think of, like, that was just normal, like, radio. You needed to get, I sound like I'm on Corrupt FM, innit? It's radio, innit? No, but that was what it was like. You needed to do it. I never even thought about it.
But the reality
Slim
is
and G
that's
were a bit
so
more daring than me.
dangerous.
I was always
The things that me and Slim have
voice
done.
of reason.
I used to go out my house at like 2 a.m. or something with a little rucksack on and some tools to fix something. I'd go to a roof on my own, go up to the top floor, get out of the lift, send the lift away, and as the lift goes away, I'd open up the door, and as the lift is gone, I would then climb in the lift shaft and climb up more, and then I'll be in that lift shaft on my own. No one knows I'm in this building, no one. And what I'm doing is every time the lift comes up or moves, I'm jumping out the way of it and scaling. It's like Mission Impossible. It's like an episode of
Do you know
Mission
what's wrong? I
Impossible.
won't mention the station, but there was a guy that died doing that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The lift shaft thing, climbed up to the top, and
wow.
the lift went down, and he lost his grip, and bang, like 20,
So it could
20
easily have
floors.
happened then, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're on your own, no, you're on top of the lift.
It
Like,
just
no one's
sounds
gonna
so
find you.
dangerous. Like when
I mean,
you're
I can't-
saying it.
I don't think it's not dangerous, very dangerous, but I think like what Doug says, when we was doing that, I didn't blink. I found video footage of me on a tower block on at Wapping
Yeah.
with Sterling and all them, and I'm doing handstands on the edge of the building for a laugh.
Yeah.
Like, for a laugh. I'm like, what?
It's a different kind of breed of people that.
My hands
Do
are on the
radio.
edge of the building.
Yeah.
Legs are up in the air.
I've got to say, when we do the roof now, we just go up the stairs.
Do you still go roof?
I
Do you
took
go
him on.
roof, yeah?
Because I had to go to the roof probably like a few weeks ago, and I took Finn with me, and we was on the bot because the way it works on the roof is you come out on the floor. Most people don't know all this. It's not. You can't just walk off the edge. There's like
I've explained all this.
Yeah, there's like a barrier like around the outside, do you know what I mean? But then there's a next layer that you climb up. Anyway, so we're walking around the edge, we've done all that, and then I climbed up on the top thing. Now to me, I'm just like straight up there. And then I look down and like Finn's like hovering. It's like, I think I'm like, oh, he's looking for his entrance to get up here. He's
like, where's the stairs to get up here?
He's like, he's moving around all weird, and I'm like, what's the matter with him?
It's
It's
on
like,
top of the door onto the top bit.
yeah, you got to climb the rest.
I'm
of
like,
it.
got to put my bag down, roll my sleeves up, put up my trousers, all that stuff. And G's just hopped up there.
Yeah, see.
To be honest, I don't know. I do know. I would never do what I done back in the day.
Me
again.
neither. I've heard people saying, do you miss that? I'm like, nah. Like, it was great at the time, but getting on roofs and, nah, mate.
I miss going on the roofs. I miss the thing of being on top of the buildings and all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I would like to do it again, but I don't want to do the thing of like actually like on the free flats. One of the things we used to do was climb over the building and down and climb into a flat and I used to climb over a building on the top floor, climb down and de-lock a transmitter in someone's toilet because there was an empty flat. Wow. So no one could get it.
Yes, yeah. When I think back, there's some silly thing but all we ever really cared about was the radio has to be on.
Yeah.
And whatever needed to be done, we done.
Do you know what I think it was as well, is that there was a few of us that was like, we was really obsessed with problem solving, doing everything better than it had already been done.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the reasons why we managed to get through, but we went through a load of processes of like, how can we make it more difficult for someone else to get where we're going?
Yeah.
Like, we was obsessed with making it that wherever we're going to go, no one else is going to go. No one's going to be able to. Because when Rinse first switched on, the thing that we suffered from was being the youngest people on the FM dial and everyone taking all of our stuff. So people would just take our transmitters. Because we was naive. We just stick it on the side and think, we're on.
That'd be all right.
12 hours late, we're off again. Do you know what I mean? And it's like 300 and odd quid for a new transmitter.
Yeah.
And that is like, right, I'll sell my SNES, you sell this, and it was kind of like that. So we started just solving the problem of putting things in places that no one else could go, and it ended up being like, right, cool, let's remove that fan out of that bit of lift equipment, and gee, you climb down that hole that like you have to crawl down and climb over this hole and this hole, and then you have to crawl back out backwards, and we were just going extreme at some stages.
So even things like jacking the rigs in, I've had to explain what that means in it and to people, because to us it's just normal, but you know, we had special tools that you could put transmitters down shot like vents and stuff, and use like a jack to open out halfway down, then block it all up so no one could get to it. It was like, and the thing is, all of us pirates were running on pennies, like compared to the DTI at the time, or Ofcom as what they know, they're like a multi-million-pound government fund. We was like,
do you know what used to kill me the most?
With nothing, you know, and we always outfoxed them, always.
Two things that killed me, really done my head in throughout that whole process of being on radio and trying to find ways to stop people taking our stuff. One of them was, we always got the blame for messing up the roofs. Like, throughout all the media and everything, it'd be like, they ruin the buildings, they cause nothing but problems, when it was us that would go on the roof and clean up the roof. Yeah. We clean up the roof to make it like, actually, we want to make it better, so they think, don't hold it against us. Yeah. But what they would do is, someone like DTI at the time would go on the roof, we'd put the transmitter in a place that is like, actually, you got to crawl down this tunnel, go around this wall, over this thing, down there, and it'd be like, to get to that is really difficult. They would just smash a hole in the wall.
Yeah, they would.
And then what it is that the pirate radios have smashed up the roof, and it's like, well, we didn't actually smash the roof. You smashed the roof.
What about, weren't there a roof that had a safe on top of it?
Yeah.
I said about that there, but I can't remember where it was.
It's the one in Wapping where the photos are on our website and that now.
Right, I just remember going up there with you.
Yeah, there's a
back
big
in the
safe on
day.
there. And one other thing that bothered me while I'm on this bothering me thing is that, can I just say, while they was complaining about what we was doing on the roofs, every single roof we went on, all I witnessed was the water tanks that supplied the water to the whole building full up with dead pigeons and rubbish.
Rust.
Oh.
So everyone in that building that was having baths and that, it was like, you're bathing with the piggins, bruv.
Did you ever have a wee in a water tank?
Wow.
Whoa.
No, I didn't. I wasn't like that.
Well.
I wasn't like that. There was I ain't gonna lie, there was someone who used to come on the roof with us all the time, and as soon as we go on here, they're like, I gotta go poo. And they'd have to go in one of the rooms. I'll be like, why is it every time we get on the roof you gotta do that? Nerves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anxious.
The roof was a little bit scary, especially if you had to go up there on your own. You know, like when the lift kicks in, you're in the roof, you shut the door behind you and lock it.
Do you know what
and
the
you're just
scariest
on your
thing?
own, and it's scary, man.
Do you know what was you scared of though? What would you be scared of?
Well, it's nothing. It's this fear of nothing. I don't know. It's
I'm
just the
scared of
noises
ghosts.
and stuff. Yeah,
I'm
You ain't
scared of
getting
ghosts. I'll be on the roof. It'll be like, right, I've got to climb that tower block. I've got to go through this hole. And my biggest fear is that it's dark. There might be a ghost.
We just
Really?
put every sound up there sounds sinister.
I think it's like you're in a city, so there's loads of people. Obviously, there's some bad people in the city, and when you're on a roof, it's like you're in the middle of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? There's no
alive.
reason for anyone to come up there. Normally, you're in a block, and you're like, I'm not going to go up to the top. I'm not going to actually open this lock or climb through the window and find. So I imagine you're just on your own.
Yeah, but you can't help but make noise getting up there. So the people that are on the top floor,
That's what I mean.
after
It's,
they know
know.
you're there. Yeah,
it's that thing of if
you
someone
normally upset them at
wanted
some
to do you
point.
some harm,
Yeah,
you're just stuck up there. No one's going to come and
of
help
course.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I've had experiences of being on the roof where people were trying to come up to do us some harm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Multiple times. And
Yeah.
we would be standing on the door, because the doors are like push-up doors, and we'd be standing on top of the door and people would be pushing up the door, and me and Slim and a few other people would be on top of the door and we'd be bopping up and down where they're trying their hardest to get up to us, and we're like, we're not having it, we're all just going to stay on top of this door and you're not coming up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was good though. Like it was a.
Should we go on the roof?
Should we go and set up a radio
Look,
station?
everyone who wants to go and set up, we go out on the roof now. I got
coming. Jordan's coming.
Can I ask you lot,
Yeah.
So, do you prefer running the radio now or back when you was doing it like that?
It's difficult because I don't want to disregard everything that we've got going on now, but I
More
can't
fun then.
disregard, the drive and the thing of every day waking up with like, not I've got to go to work, but I'll be waking up at like 7 a.m. or something and being like, go on the roofs.
Radio.
And, radio. And we'd go on the roof at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and I'll be leaving at 9 a.m. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, the motivation, what you had then, was beyond to try and achieve everything.
It's funny because that the people just do nothing corrupt thing. Obviously, they've magnified what it is, but they've got it so right with so much of it. Because like the way he goes on about radio comes before his missus and everything else in that. I'm not saying that's what it was like, but when we were younger, radio was a thing. You know, what I mean, it was a bigger culture than what it is now, pirate radio, and it was like being part of a team. Your station was like your football team, and you repped your team, and you went to the block, and you done it, and anyone give it, you'd stand with your team and all that. And I just think that's kind of, I miss.
That side of it.
Yeah, I just missed the fact it was fun and we was all together. Like now, everyone's good at what they do and they're professional and the station's doing well and careers, but everyone's kind of become professional, which is
Do you know-
normally a bit boring.
One of
isn't
the
it?
things I thought about recently was that some of us lot that have been through some harder times would be a little bit negative towards our easy people have it now. And I think that, like it's like if you're on a radio station, all you got to do is get a DJ set up and plug it into the internet. That's it. You got a radio station. Anyone can do it. Do you know what I mean? And we had to go through a lot of work to get a radio station, and there was no way to get our music out, so we had to have a radio station to get people to hear it. We went through all of this graft, and I've been through the stages where I'm like, you don't know how hard it is, or like use the young generation's got it easy, but we fought hard to make this easy for people. It was us that was like, from a radio point of view and all of that, all we wanted was people to be able to get this done easy.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, actually, I can't feel any kind of negative about how easy it's got, because we wanted it to be easier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's negative. Like when I talk like to the younger people on Rinton, it's not negative that I feel towards them, because it is, it is what it is. Everyone lives at different times and points, but I just think that I look at them like and think, you're well lucky.
Lucky, innit?
Yeah, like even just looking at this studio, like aircon and nice equipment and big desk, and everyone all got laptops open. Look, bro, back in the day, we couldn't even afford, the times at Rins, we couldn't even afford a door lock. We used to have the door wedged shut.
Sometimes the studio will be in someone's kitchen. I'll be on their kitchen counter mixing on a little radio that's like as big as both my hands, and they'll be making their breakfast for their kids.
It's true,
And it would have been, I would have bunged them 20 quid to put the radio in our house for a weekend. And they needed the 20 quid and we needed a studio.
Do you know what? Have you ever had them studios when you've got in some nutter's house? Like, he's a bit tasty and a bit hard, and he'd be like, yeah, you can have it in there. So you give him his money. Like, yeah, do what you want. About 2 hours in, the old studio door comes open. There's a nutty local lunatic turn the music down. But all weekend he just wants to smash you all up and the equipment up. Like you either have like a bird who's a mum who needs a few quid, or just some local nutter like, I don't care about anything. Put it in my kitchen. Hour later, turn it down. I'm going to kill all of you.
I've had it before with someone in Hoxton. We put a studio in Hoxton in the tower block there, and the geezer was a nutter, and Slim and a few others was getting into like excitement in the front room when the geezer was out, and his window got smashed. And it was like, and everyone left, and it was just me and Slim there, and I was like, he's gonna come back and we're gonna get battered. Do you know what I mean? I had to get my dad up there.
Who was the geezer
I had
that
to get my
chased
dad
you?
to black. I can't remember.
Someone chased you and what's the story? Let me think of that out of one of the.
Is it in the book?
No, this was something you told me that happened to you. I saw someone turned up at the studio, and he cut out, and you was going to take an iodine or something.
Oh,
Blake had to come back
when
and
we got
save
we
you.
got robbed.
Yeah,
and
was it that?
Yeah, that was
Geezer turned up with a big like.
a big. Mia's at the door. She keeps poking her little head in. Coming me. Anyway,
Yo.
yeah. So it was when we got robbed, and I was at the studio with Slim and a few other people. And what happened was that.
Yeah.
A dude kicked off the front door. He come running in with basically a samurai sword. I was hiding in a little room, and Slim come running into the room I was hiding in.
Wow.
Baited you up.
Run past me, the geezer grabbed me, put the knife in my neck, started going into one. Slim went out the room. I went in the other room with the dude who was holding the knife in my neck because he wanted the equipment, and when I went in there, Slim was hanging out the window 3 floors up. I had to pull him back in. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, that's not gonna work, bruv.
Yeah.
And then we got robbed.
Yeah.
Do you know what the thing that annoyed me the most about that? Slim always wired up everything and didn't put the plugs on the back of the plugs. You know, like you got a plug that you plug into the wall. When we used to have to wire the plugs in, he never put the backs on. He'd be like, I'll do that bit later. So when we got robbed, I had to unplug the electrical equipment because the geezer had the knife in my neck, and I didn't have no choice but to just grab it. And I was getting like the worst electric shocks of my life. And afterwards I was like, why don't you ever put the plugs on the back of the plugs? You know what I mean?
See, all of these things, and people that don't understand it be like, why did you even do it? It sounds like zero fun, like risking your life, knife in your neck. The best times of my life.
Sounds like you paved the way. That's why it's easier today.
Yeah, I mean, there ain't really. I mean, even
You had
pirate.
to go through that.
Yeah, even pirate culture now is like online internet stations. I know there's an FM. I mean, we was talking like you said earlier. There's what country was it? They've turned off their FM dial.
Norway.
So does that mean they've blocked it out so no one can use it, or
We've got
it's
some.
just free for all?
Let me have a look here.
Have a little look, G.
Hold up, I've got
Shall
some.
I beatbox while we're waiting?
Go on, have a little beatbox.
No, I can't really.
No, they've gone to digital because Norway is like really hilly. It's got loads of like valleys and things like that. So
Okay.
FM is really expensive to maintain, and digital you can do it a bit easier for them.
That's why
That
you're
makes no
here.
sense
Coolio.
because in the UK, DAB is really expensive.
Yeah.
Like if you want a DAB license, normally it's a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Like in the commercial sense,
Yeah.
it's a lot of money to buy the equipment and set up.
We're on UK Turks. Just listen to it on that.
And Cody,
Yeah.
have you seen that? Have you seen, what's that website, Finn? Did I show it to you with the whole world and you can go around it, listen to the radio
it's
station?
wicked.
Amazing. I'll show you
Yeah.
that. It's sick. Anyway, yeah. So Norway has switched off their FM.
Do you think? I remember 10 years ago when people were saying England are going to do that soon. Do you think it will ever come to?
They're
a
saying on
day
here
when
that Switzerland are going to switch off by the year 2020. Britain is considering following the same suit. So
So when they say switch off, obviously you can't switch it off. So
you
what do
can't
they
switch
do?
it off. I mean,
Do they set up
They
block it.
transmitters?
it's a
from
frequency. It's not. I mean, you can't. Like you say, you can't switch it off. What will happen
Yeah.
is they will switch off the transmitters. Like
Radio 1 and then.
yeah, they'll just bail out.
So if
The-
they
the-
wanted
the
to
band
stop
will still be
pirates, why wouldn't they just have like a transmitter that goes from 87 to 108 or whatever it is? You know, like how Radio 1s are dotted around the country, so wherever you go, you get them. They could just do that and block out the whole band. And
You
then
can't
no one
block
can
out.
have
You
it.
can't. It's not possible to block out a whole band because if I'm in Bow and you're in Dagenham and
Yeah.
I send the signal out from Bow and you're in Dagenham and you switch on a transmitter,
Yeah,
I
of
can't
course,
overpower you.
But it would really localise things, wouldn't it? If you had like a really super duper bunch of transmitters up and down the country.
What I think they should do is if they're going to switch it off, they should give the FM band to people that want to practice and do radio
Yeah.
and let them have it. and just make it more like publicly free, and just be like, you still have a license, but it ain't such a big thing. But let anyone do it. The same way we've got anyone can have an internet radio station now.
Yeah.
Put some guidelines in place and just let people experience doing radio.
So when they can't we just take the FM and just rent out some space to people and just like it's ours now? We own the FM.
I used to do that, Doug.
Yeah,
I used to do a bit of that.
I know you did. That's why I'm
Used to rent out spaces.
bad man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So radio, it's all changing.
It's all change anyway. Just find another bit of his book. We're going to get back into some music and then
The
come
rest
back
is
and
rubbish. That's the best
Oh,
bit.
is that-
yeah. Let's finish on a high.
throw that book out now, guys. See you later.